A very good evening to everyone. I greet you this evening from the very heart of Jerusalem. And I welcome you tonight to live together an experience of fraternity on the occasion of the Not Alone International Day that will be held in Rome on June 10 in St. Peter's Square with the presence of His Holiness, Pope Francis. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Elena Camilleri. I'm part of the Focolare community in the Holy Land, and I've been living here in Jerusalem now for almost 9 years. Just a short note, part of our program will be broadcast in Rome, so don't be surprised if I repeat few words during the evening. The initiative Not Alone, World Meeting on Human Fraternity, organized by the Fratelli Tutti Foundation, is inspired by the encyclical Brothers All, Fratelli Tutti, the encyclical on human fraternity and social friendship, to promote dialogue, reciprocal knowledge, forgiveness, and hope in a world that is torn by so much war and suffering. We need to encourage one another to let go of our own particular way, our own opinion, and to recognize that each person in our human family is made in the image and likeness of God. Pope Francis encourages us to come together to encounter as brothers and sisters. The Pope believes that what generally is lacking is a sense of belonging to one human family. We are all fratelli tutti, brothers and sisters, yet we often see each other as them and us, rather than brothers and sisters. We tend to forget the intrinsic dignity of each human person and to divide into all kinds of us and them. We divide between Muslims, Christians, between Jews, Orthodox, and so on, instead of seeing the person for who they really are, persons with concerns, hopes, fears. This dividing is dangerous, as we might forget the common good of all, and to discard, to cast out, as we forget that we are all called to belong to a single human family. Before we move on, I would like to thank His Beatitude, Pier Battista Pizzaballa, Latin Patriarch in Jerusalem, and Mr. Bernard Thibault for hosting us this evening. Thank you. This evening, we are being hosted in a particularly significant and meaningful place, a space for dialogue, for encounter, sharing, and meeting, in a city marked by a continuous conflict. So please, kindly let me invite Mr. Bernard Thibault for his welcoming speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena, and good evening and welcome to you all. And it's a great pleasure for the House of Abraham to host this cultural event in the spirit of hospitality and fraternity of Fratelli Tutti. Indeed, the creation of the House of Abraham was a strong wish of Pope Paul VI after his visit to the Holy Land in 1964, almost 60 years ago. And Pope Paul VI asked Caritas France to create here in Jerusalem a Christian guest house which would accommodate pilgrims of all religions, especially those living in precarious situations. This week, we are hosting a pilgrimage of 50 Ukrainian women who come here to pray for their families and for peace in their countries, and some of them are present with us tonight, and I welcome them. And you're most welcome. And we will also host next week a pilgrimage in which many of the participants used to be homeless in France a few years ago. As well, our Caritas mission here, the House of Abraham welcomes during the day Muslim and Palestinian families from the neighborhood who experience many social and economic difficulties. Indeed, it is our experience in Caritas that those people who suffer the most or experience poverty are the best witnesses and teachers for forgiveness, fraternity, and solidarity amongst us. So I'm very honored to welcome His Beatitude Pier Battista Pizzaballa and our concert performer Mohammed, as well as his teacher Emma. And thank you for creating this moment of communion between us, all Christian and Jewish and Muslim and children of Abraham.
Thank you, Mr. Thibault, for your welcome and for hosting us tonight. Participate, share, spread. These three verbs are at the heart of the Not Alone World Meeting. The event wants to combine experiences, artistic performances, and dialogue. This evening, we would like to offer a unique experience of fraternity through music. The Magnificat Institute of the Franciscan Custody of the Holy Land has played an important role in bringing together music admirers from several backgrounds and religions. The Institute offers music education to a variety of students and helps them to discover their talents, such as the talent of Mohammed Al Skeikh, 20 years old, Palestinian pianist, who started playing music at the Magnificat Institute at the age of 10. Mohammed has been awarded and received a lot of prizes in many musical events and performed in many cities all over the world. So now, for the most awaited part of the program, I am honored to welcome Mohammed Al Skeikh to play some music for us. Please give a warm welcome to Mohammed. Mohammed will play for us pieces by Scarlatti, Chopin, and Liszt. A really big thank you, Mohammed, for such an amazing performance. The way you convey emotion is incredible. You really give life to music. Anjad, shukran. Another round of applause for Mohammed. We have here with us your piano music teacher who supported you, guided you, and helped you to improve your talent at the Magnificat Institute. Please kindly together let us welcome Miss Emma Spitzkowski. I'm sorry. Spitzkowski.
Good evening. I'm Emma Spitkowski. I come from, my originally country is Ukraine, and I'm from the capital of Ukraine, Kiev. As I Jew, I wasn't accepted to college in the Kiev. That's why all my family, and me of course, moved to Russia, to Moscow. And in the Moscow, I finished this college after the academic. And it's famous academy, it's by name Gnesins. Gnesins School, Gnesins College, and Gnesins Academy. After that, I come to Jerusalem, and immediately I received working in musical schools, different schools, but I wanted to find something especially. And one day I received calling from Magnificat Institute of Franciscan's Monastery. As director, Father Armando called me and invited to meet and to speak about my work in Magnificat Institute. And he said, and he related about idea of this institute. What is idea? Idea is to work together, Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Okay, it's for me. It was very clear that it's my team of my child, and of course I'll cross from conservatory in Jerusalem Conservatory Israeli to Magnificat. Why? Only because this idea. It was very nice idea, for me, very interesting. And now our working together, Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Now, after that, I met with Mohammed Al Skeikh. He was 10 years old. And immediately I recognized his special talent and what is good. It wasn't mistake. And I proud to be his teacher. And I can only to say thank you for my director, now director Alberto, it's the same team, the same idea. And despite of our faith, culture, it's our can to do. It's possible to be together. It's not only possible, it's beautiful, what I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Emma Spitzkowski. Greetings from the holy city of Jerusalem to Rome. We are gathering tonight at the Maison d'Abraham. We are at the heart of the holy city of Jerusalem, and we are here next to the Mount of Olives, facing the old city of Jerusalem, with a wide view that embraces the entire city of Jerusalem, and symbolically, the rich diversity of faiths and cultures. This evening, we are living a brotherly and fraternal experience through music. We have just witnessed a wonderful performance, which is the fruit of an incredible talent of Mohammed Al Skeikh, Palestinian pianist. Hi. The unique experience of Mohammed is that he is Muslim, taught by a Jewish teacher in the Magnificat Institute of the Custody of the Franciscans of the Holy Land, which is an institute that is interreligious. The institute offers music education to a variety of students from different cultures and religion. Mohammed's story puts together all that we want to celebrate and share together today. Mohammed, we enjoy your music and we know that you prefer to play rather than talking, but we would like to ask you if you could share something of your experience and your determination to proceed as a musician in Magnificat. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me here to play. As you can see, it has been a big pleasure. Such a great public and very positive. Yeah. So, aside from teaching me music, the most thing that I love, Magnificat actually taught me other things. You know, it's a really bright, positive school. I have a lot of positive memories in it, and you know, like, again, we're mentioning it a lot of times, but I think it's important that we mention it a lot of times. That, like, I'm a Muslim, my teacher is a Jew. You know, my mother is Christian Orthodox. I'm in a Christian Catholic. Originally, yeah, school. So, and you know, it's a great pleasure to have this example, because maybe it's obvious to me that you should judge somebody as an individual, not as religion, race, or whatever, you know. But maybe other people don't realize that. So, yeah, and I'm really happy that this message is that I have the chance to say this message to everybody. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Mohammed. And now, let's move on to our next performance. I would like to invite here on stage now other artists from the Magnificat Institute to sing with you. So our singers tonight come from very different backgrounds and cultures, and they represent the reality of the people of the Holy Land. So let us welcome Giuliana Mettini, Italian soprano, vice director and teacher at the Magnificat Institute, Tarek Wahbe, bass, Palestinian from Nablus, Angeli Villaluz, music student from Jerusalem, and Father Alberto Pari, director of the Magnificat Institute. They will be presenting to us a famous Arabic love song, Lama Bada Yatathanna. Let's enjoy the performance.
Dum tak, dum tak, dum tak, dum tak. Lama bada yadatenna, lama bada yadatenna.
Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful song. And now, moving on, I would like to introduce Father Alberto Pari, director of the Magnificat Institute, Franciscan, to tell us more about the Institute's mission in the Holy Land.
So first of all, so for me, it's a great honor to be here and to be part of this beautiful evening. I'm the third director of the music school. That is a young institution, is more or less 25 years old. That it arrived to happen because the first musician, Franciscan, that discovered that there was not a real school in the whole city, Father Armando Pierucci, asked the permission to build a school. There was no space in the monastery, but there was a basement that was possible to restore. Then there was a lack of teachers. That the first teachers was just women Jews. So there was a second challenge. It was possible to have a music school of Palestinian, majority Christians students, and women Jews that were coming to teach. The Custody of Holy Land said yes to all these challenges. And now we have a music school that is a conservatory of music. More than 200 students from all the different confessions of Christianism, and then Muslim and Jews. The majority of teachers are Israeli Jews, and then we have Christians. Despite that it was not originally meant to be an interfaith, an interdialogue institution, naturally it came up to this. The students from the age of 4 until the end of the academy, they grow up all together. And in the city of Jerusalem is not something normal. It's not something easy. It's a big challenge, a great adventure. We are spreading seeds of hope, and in the future we will have fruits like Mohammed. that are, yes, growing with music, but also with this open mind and art that is possible to be together and to do something beautiful. Now I would like to continue giving another example of a collaboration between Mohammed, the musician, and the vocal ensemble, and we will perform a Renaissance music, Claudin de Sermissy, J'ai fait pour vous 100 000 pas.
J'ai fait pour vous 100 000 pas, et d'entrepris de folie. Dès que s'arrête l'immense, dans Jésus en
What a beautiful performance. Thank you. So now, I would like to thank in particular His Beatitude Pier Battista Pizzaballa, Latin Patriarch in Jerusalem, for supporting this initiative. And I kindly invite him to step towards the stage for his conclusive remarks.
Thank you. It was a very beautiful evening, beautiful encounters. As usual, Jerusalem is able to give for those who are very attentive and would like to know better beyond the surface of the difficulties of Jerusalem. We are a multi-religious and multicultural city where Jews, Christians, Muslims live together, Christians for all denominations, Jews from all rights, Muslims for all formation and provenience, but not always able to live very well all together. And what Fratelli Tutti says, what Pope Francis wrote, for us is always a call to which we are called to follow. And it's true, it's very difficult. Sometimes the coexistence is peaceful, sometimes it's less peaceful, as everyone knows. It is a fact we have to acknowledge that we institutions, religious institutions, political institutions, civil institutions, we have some difficulties among us. But as we saw this evening, we saw Muhammad, we saw the example of Magnificat, but there are many other examples in Jerusalem. I think Jerusalem Intercultural Center, many other association, groups, movements that show us that despite everything, there is, even here in Jerusalem, beautiful examples of coexistence, where everyone feels, being Jews, being Muslims, being Christians, that he belongs to the other and the other belongs to him. That is possible, despite everything, to feel that we all together, we are fratelli tutti, we are brothers, we belong each other because we are sons and daughters of the same Father. And so, really, for those who are able to see beyond the surface, Jerusalem is still, even today, house of prayer for all the people. So thank you to all these beautiful examples that are a kind of antibodies that preserve this city to be desecrated, totally desecrated. There are those who are desecrating, but there are those who are sanctifying it with the example of their life. And we are here to praise them and to thank the Lord for their presence here. And now, at the conclusion, I think it's beautiful to conclude all together, singing all together. Sing for the peace all over the world, especially for the peace of Jerusalem.
Our evening is coming to an end, and I would like all those who came here on stage for their inspiring words, for sharing their talents, the beautiful music that carried along with it the valuable values of unity and peace. And again, to each and every one of you for your presence here tonight, hoping that we all go willing to live together in unity and peace. Thank you and good night.